Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're taking the stress entirely out of government bureaucracy. We're going to give you a clear, highly manageable roadmap for getting your new US passport. Whether it's your very first time applying as an adult or, you're just trying to get passports sorted for your kids. Navigating government requirements can definitely feel like a maze, but hey, don't worry, we've mapped out exactly what you need to do.
So, if you're planning an international getaway, the absolute most critical tool you need is, well, a passport. But let's be totally honest here. Figuring out the in-person application process can feel completely overwhelming. From knowing exactly which forms to bring to figuring out where you actually need to go, one small mistake can literally delay your travel plans by weeks or even months. We're going to make absolutely sure that doesn't happen to you.
Let's dive right in by chunking the official 10-step roadmap into 5 simple, stress-free phases. We've got where to apply, prepping your application, booking and fees, the in-person appointment, and finally, tracking your new passport.
All right, let's start with phase 1, where to apply.
The very first hurdle is figuring out exactly where you need to go, simply because not all passport facilities are created equal. And honestly, this is the biggest point of confusion for most travelers. You're most likely going to head to an acceptance facility for a routine Form DS-11 application. Think places like your local post office, a clerk of court, or maybe a public library. On the flip side, a passport agency is operated directly by the Department of State, and that is strictly for urgent international travel happening within 14 calendar days or for literal life-or-death emergencies. You absolutely must have an appointment for an agency, whereas those acceptance facilities, sometimes they actually allow walk-ins.
Reassuringly, the U.S. has more than 7,500 of these acceptance facilities. That is a massive network. So you're likely living very close to one right now. You can just hop online, use the Department of State search tool, punch in your zip code, and find a convenient spot. Just a quick pro tip though. Always remember to check their specific opening hours and double-check whether they require you to book ahead or if you can just walk right in.
Moving right along to phase 2, prepping your application. Now that you know where you're going, it's time to build your actual application package. And this is where your attention to detail really pays off. First up, you'll complete and print the application. Next, you got to gather your proof of citizenship and a valid photo ID, along with a fully compliant passport photo. But wait, here is a classic trap you absolutely must avoid. Do not sign the document yet. Seriously, stop right there. You are legally required to sign it only at the appointment while under oath, when the acceptance agent explicitly tells you to.
Okay, on to phase 3, booking and fees.
With your paperwork perfectly prepped and, remember, completely unsigned, you need to lock in an appointment if your chosen facility requires one and figure out the exact costs. But I need you to hear this severe warning from the Department of State. You should never, ever pay someone just to book your appointment. Scam artists are out there, and they often set up official-looking websites offering to secure you a time slot for a fee. Do not fall for it. The actual government system for booking an appointment is 100% free of charge.
Now, when it comes to your wallet, you really need to understand how these fees are structured. You're actually paying 2 separate entities. The application fee goes directly to the Department of State, while the facility fee stays with the location processing you, like the post office, for example. So for a standard adult passport book, you're looking at $130 for the application, plus a $35 facility fee. And keep in mind, because these go to 2 completely different places, they have to be paid separately. This often means you'll need different payment methods like a check or money order for the Department of State, and maybe cash or credit for the facility.
Next up, phase 4, the in-person appointment.
Okay, so you've done the prep, you've dodged the scams, and your payments are perfectly organized. For the main event, always try to arrive a little early and use this ultimate checklist to ensure you have absolutely everything before you walk out your front door. You need that unsigned DS-11. You need your original citizenship evidence, like a birth certificate or naturalization certificate, plus a photocopy of it. You need your valid photo ID, plus a photocopy of that too. Have your photo, your 2 separate payments, and any appointment confirmation ready to go. Having this stack perfectly organized shows the agent you mean business. It makes the whole process incredibly smooth. Knowing exactly what happens at the counter really just eliminates all the anxiety. So here's the step-by-step of your interaction. First, the agent's going to verify your documents, checking your identity against your photo and ID. Then, they'll ask you to raise your right hand and administer an oath, having you swear that the information is true. Third, they will finally give you the green light to actually sign that DS-11. And fourth, they collect your forms, your photocopies, and those fees. Now, a really important note here. The agent at the post office or library does not make the final decision to issue your passport. Their job is strictly to verify your identity and securely route the whole shebang to the Department of State for the actual decision and processing. And finally, phase 5, Tracking your new passport.
The hard work is officially done. You've successfully handed over the paperwork, and now we enter the final stretch. Just to set some realistic expectations here. After your submission on day 1, if you paid the extra fee for expedited processing, you're looking at a 2 to 3 week wait. If you opted for routine processing, well, that currently takes about 4 to 6 weeks. However, you really got to factor in additional days on either end for mailing time. That's the time it takes for your application to physically reach the processing center and the time it takes for the printed passport to actually make it back to your mailbox.
But hey, the good news is you are never left entirely in the dark wondering if your documents just fell into a black hole. You can easily monitor your application's journey through the official online passport status system. It's super simple. Just plug in your last name, your date of birth, and the last 4 digits of your social security number, and it's going to tell you exactly where your passport is in the production line.
By following this structured roadmap and breaking it down step by step, you have completely conquered the bureaucracy. You've navigated the facilities, you've prepped your paperwork like a total pro, you've avoided those scams, and you've set yourself up for travel success. Which really leaves only one truly important question left to answer. With that brand new passport on its way to your mailbox, where in the world are you going to travel first? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and safe travels out there.